Hello, all. A very good afternoon to all of you. And first of all, thanks for joining this webinar. And we believe that this will be a very helpful to you. And I think we can start off. So, the webinar topic today is uncommon answers. So basically, there are questions, and many of us still, feel that health insurance or insurance itself, for that matter, is a myth, right? So today we will be, discussing about some of the topics or topics that people generally fail to, guide and understand. So we'll be taking you through. So we'll be taking you through each of those topics, and by end of it, by end of it, happy to answer the questions. So yeah, I think we can do that. So over to us now. You can take it forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for attending this webinar. So, as this is about common questions and uncommon answers. So, when we take insurance, right? So, it is very important to give the right kind of information, educating your nominee, and you should do your basic homework. So, to avoid any claim rejection, basically. So, as far as both life and health insurance are concerned. So it is very important that people understand the issues because insurance is bought for claims, right? So all the common questions you have will be answered here, and at the same time, any questions you can have, we can have a discussion at the end of the meeting. So you can put your questions on the chat box. We will answer your queries at the end of the presentation. So moving forward, so the first query or the concern is the significance of accurate information. So as you may see in this slide that 8% of insurance claims are rejected due to incorrect information, according to Indian insurance statistics. So it is very important that if you are not able to get any claim, so there is no point in investing in insurance. So here, the homework is the most important factor when buying an insurance policy. So what we should look at? So the most important point within these information points would be ensure that you are making right declarations in your policy. So when the proposal form comes to you, the application form is the base and foundation on which your policy is issued. So ensure that you are taking care of filling the form yourself, specifically details related to finance, health, and lifestyle. So if you make any mistakes there, or if we do not give enough care of giving the right information when giving details that the insurance company is asking for, that is a very big risk. Okay. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Yes. So So that here we have to ensure that we are giving right information that the insurance company is asking for because that is a very big risk that we are taking and it could lead to your nominee not getting that claim. So the first and foremost thing is when you are applying for the insurance, you need to declare right declarations should be there. So that need to be taken care of. Accurate information must be provided. And the second one is about educating the nominee. So over 60% of claim rejections occur due to nominee related issues. So what are these nominee related issues, you may ask? So the first thing is you need to make sure that the nominee understand that these are the policies you have and these are the kind of covers and the records where you have kept it, all that you need to tell them, inform them. So how do you make a claim? Okay. So, and if there is an agent involved or if there is an insurance advisor involved, give the number of the advisor or the agent to the nominee so that they can contact that person for all the documents. So, most of the cases that we see is the nominee is clueless about policies, documents, which covers the person who passed away. So, record management after nominee education will be the third most important thing. So the first thing is giving right declaration. The second thing is educating your nominee about the policies you have. And the third thing comes is the record management. So you can see the average time taken to settle an insurance claim in India is 30 to 45 days, according to Indian Insurance Claim Settlement Statistics. So here, effective record management is a crucial thing for successful claim settlements. So you should store your policy documents properly, your medical records, and all other relevant information properly when you take a policy. So basically, when you uh, take a like one thing that which a lot of people ask is when they are buying an insurance policy, they should know that they should write declaration, they should manage records and educate nominee. So if you take care of this, that is enough homework for you to ensure that your client settlement ratio is 100% from your side. So keep policy documents in a place and let your nominee know about it. Keep your medical records on place, all the original medical records as well as the bills, all that, all the relevant information in a place, and also inform that to your advisor as well as to your nominee for a 100% client settlement. So then comes the myth of client settlement ratio. So some companies with lower claim settlement ratio may be more efficient in valid rejections. So that's the crux there. So basically, one thing which a lot of people ask for is when they are buying a life insurance policy, they look at the claim settlement ratio. For a lot of them, that is the main criteria, depending on which you should be selecting an insurance policy or a insurance company for yourself. So, how important is client settlement ratio and buying an insurance policy or life insurance just on having a high client settlement ratio? Do you think this is the right way for getting a life insurance cover? So, to answer this, the client settlement ratio does not give any information about an insurance company's claim experience or the speed at which it will basically make a claim payment. So it is a very broad number which tells you how many claims an insurance company got and how many were paid. But this does not have anything about the efficiency or giving the right claims. So the claims that did not get paid could be valid rejections also, right, by an insurance company. Let's say if there is a fraud. So how do you judge a company on something where an insurance company is doing its job by rejecting the wrong invalid claims? So in fact, an efficient insurance company is also supposed to pay claims which are not payable. So only doing so will ensure that they are viable in the long run and are able to pay your claim. So claim settlement ratio is something which is very broad metric, and one should not consider it so personally to make any decisions about which insurance company is good or bad based on claim experience. So higher claim settlement ratios are often considered when buying insurance, but however they are not indicative of claim payment speed or experience. So that is subjective. So the next one will be formalities for making claim. Over 90% of insurance claim in India are related to health or natural death. So that is the thing. So when you so now explaining about the formalities that one might have to go for making a claim in life insurance policy. What kind of documents are we talking about? So definitely we need to have a nominee name so that the person can actually approach an insurance company and give all the kind of information that is needed. But then in terms of documentation, in terms of even reporting a death loss, what is the time frame for that and how do you go about it? So, as per the policy verdicts, there is typically a 30-day window in which you are supposed to notify that there is a death that has happened. But IRDA has made it very clear. So, if there are any circumstances by which a customer or the policy like the nominee has not been able to do that, insurance company cannot reject claims. So even after 30 days, if there is certain situation, people can make claims, and intimation is the first step in the entire process. So ensure that you are able to intimate the insurer within 30 days, and this can be done even over a toll-free call. So you do not need to have to go anywhere, and many insurers even now have it over their app or their website. So it is easy. So it will take merely 5 minutes for someone in the family within 30 days to do it. So this will be the first step. And the second step is taking care of all the paperwork. So in the paperwork, there are three aspects that you should take care of. One is the insurance company will want the proof of death. So basically a death certificate and details about that is what the insurance company will ask. Second is the cause of death. So they will want more papers on understanding the cause of death. So if it is an accident case, then there could be details required in terms of police records, FIRs and all that. If it is a regular death, then documentation from the hospital would be required so that the insurance company can elevate the cost of death. The third is the proof of the nominee. So the nominee has to prove that the person is the nominee in terms of giving paperwork, which is basically very simple paperwork, photo ID proof and address proof. So these are the things that you are largely supposed to provide. Then there will be payment details that you need to provide, cancel checks and all the information that is provided, which is readily available to the people. Largely, what you need to know is the cause of the death, the proof that you are a nominee, and basically the proof of death. So if you are able to give these papers, notify the insurance company and submit them on time, then your claim will be will be submitted and get processed. So make sure that these necessary documents, like make aware of your nominee that these are the necessary documents that one should have. That is the death certificate, cause of death details, and nominee proof. So then this question comes under health insurance claim rejection. So what we saw before is your term insurance claim rejection, and here comes the health insurance claim rejections. So we know that whenever in health insurance policy, what could be a criteria that the policy or claim is getting rejected, right? So you should understand that in life insurance, claims can get rejected only in the first 3 years as per the Insurance Act. So insurance companies cannot reject any claims after 3 years, even if there is a fraud. So that is the first thing to understand. The second thing is when the window is in the first 3 years, the claim has happened in the first 3 years or if, of issuing the policy, denial would be around misrepresentation largely. So what kind of misrepresentation means that could be around wrong financial information that has been given about your occupation or the place you work or the salary or the income that you make, or you have given the wrong documentation about the income tax returns. So this could be one of reason for major rejection. And the second rejection is related to health. If you make wrong representation about health or hide information about blood pressure, asthma, diabetes, and so, and if the information comes to the hand of the insurance company in the first 3 years of the claim is happening, in the first 3 years, then there is a chance of claim being rejected. So that is why the most important thing is giving information rightly when you are buying the policy. So now moving on to health insurance, what are all the reasons for which the claims can get rejected? So let us consider a scenario of cashless health insurance policy that you have, and one where you have to follow the process of reimbursement, the kind of document required, and also the right kind of hospitalization investment need to be given. So what could be the other criteria you might have ignored when you bought a health insurance policy that gets your claim rejected? So there are four large criteria on which your claim can get rejected in health insurance. So the first thing would be waiting periods and exclusions. So comes to waiting period and exclusions. So there are two types of exclusions in health insurance policy. One would be time-based exclusions, which are waiting periods in your policy. So if you are making a claim of any disease or treatment, which is in the waiting period when you bought the policy, so it obviously would not be paid. That is one reason why your claim can get rejected. So the second one will be permanent exclusions in the policy of certain diseases, treatments that may not be covered by an insurance company. For example, cosmetic surgeries are not covered by insurance companies. So a lot of health insurance policies do not cover maternity. So these would be rejected. And the other thing, the second thing will be uh, permanent exclusions. So as I said, for some of the policies, you have cosmetic procedures and you have maternity, which will not be included in the policy. They are like permanently excluded from the policy. So that also should be taken care of. Like you should also understand that before going for a claim. And the third will be misrepresentation. So, like in life insurance, in health insurance policies also, we have a major reason for claim rejections is your misinterpretations. So, where a customer has missed giving information about some specific health or lifestyle disease declaration to the insurance company, and the insurance companies come to know about it only through the paperwork that has happened in the hospital. So, because of which there is a possibility of claim rejection. And the fourth will be procedural rejections. So, this is where you were not able to submit all the paperwork to the insurance company. Like if the insurance company is asking for back papers to understand when the disease got diagnosed, and if you're not able to provide those back papers in terms of investigation reports or doctor consultations, in that case also insurance company can say that you are not able to prove that when the disease actually started getting diagnosed, or when the insurance company is like when the insurance company get to know about it. So these are the reasons that it can reject the claim. So paperwork would be the fourth reason why the claims can get rejected. And handling claim rejection. So now we understand that what are all the possible reasons because of which an health insurance claim can get rejected. So how do you handle this claim rejections in insurance? So you can see only 10 to 15% of rejected health insurance claims are appealed. So this is based on health insurance claim rejection appeal statistics. So once your claim gets rejected, what exactly can a policyholder do? If the claims are rejected because of misrepresentation, the insurance company also has the right to cancel your policy. So if the insurance company is very clear that they are not happy with the information that they receive now, which they should have received when the policy was bought, then the insurance company will go ahead and cancel the policy. The other option the insurance company has is that they may charge a certain additional premium and continue your policy with addition of the new information that you have got that they have got from you now. And although this claim has been rejected, now your waiting period would start, and after that waiting period is over, you will be able to make claims. So there are two scenarios that would appear for a person who has got a claim rejection due to misrepresentation. So what if an investor or policyholder feels the rejection is wrong, and how they can go about it? So how do you even identify that it is a wrong rejection by the insurance company? So here you can get in touch with your insurance advisor, and they can help you with whether the claim is payable or not payable. And after that, you could basically apply for grievance with the insurance company. So every insurance company is mandatorily required to have a grievance officer in the company to whom you can write and claim that you should have got the payment and make a claim, or make a complaint or file a grievance with that insurance company. So Even if you do not get a satisfactory response from the insurance company in 15 days, then you can apply and write to the IRDA portal. So the IRDA portal has a portal for grievance, so which you can use to make the complaint as an escalation to the non-satisfactory response that you got from the insurance company. So the next step is to go for, you have a legal route. So you can see around 15 to 20% of disputed insurance claims result in court proceedings, which means that even if IRDA fails to give a satisfactory response, so you can go to the next option, which is insurance ombudsman. So which is basically a local for insurance where you can go and online apply and file a grievance with local, who will turn make a judgment based on the information it gets from you and the insurance company. So if everything else fails, policyholders can pursue legal action also. So we have consumer courts and regular courts are available option for dispute resolution. So these are the typically the things you can do in case of claim rejection. Apart from these, you see, so you can just go for the same company insurance grievance redressal portal itself. So if that is not working out, the second thing is you can go for insurance ombudsman. So even if these two fails, you can again go for a legal action to policy court, to consumer court or regular courts, where you can go for a case to get the claims. So these are all mostly the reasons for a policy claim rejection. And at the same time, these are all the options, or these are all various things that you can do in order to get your claim. So now the presentation is over. So it is now open for Q&A discussion. So if you have any questions, please raise it on the chat. Mr. Swagath will go ahead and answer the queries.
Thanks, Archana, for the presentation. Yes, so if you have any questions, please you may ask, and you can probably type in the Q&A column, and we'll be happy to answer that. I think Vignesh M has a question, I guess. Can you type so that will help us answering? Okay, first question is from Mr. Dinakar Babu. Being a MNC employee, should I take additional health insurance though I'm covered by employer? Yes, definitely you should take. There are like few points to consider. First is you might not know when you will be shifting your job, and secondly, even if you shift, you will not know what the new company will offer. Will they again cover you, only you, or will they cover your family? And will that include your parents as well? And will it be for the same coverage, and will it have same features and benefits? So these are the questions you should have in mind. Secondly, the reason you should take it outside or additional cover is that you should always have a personal health insurance, because only that is going to come lifelong. And once you turn 60 or attain the senior citizen age, then taking a health insurance will be a big challenge, because many of us will get age-related ailments, illness, and even if you have taken any surgery or any medication in the past, that will definitely affect the claim in the future. So as long as you are hale and healthy, fit, at least start taking a cover for at least 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs, depending on the strength of your family, depending on your existing medical condition, depending on the family's medical history, and so that you can gradually keep increasing it. Because as I said, once you have any illness, any minor illness for that matter, again, that will not be covered for certain years, and that might pose us a big challenge in the future also. Yeah. So always consider taking a additional coverage, because do not rely on employee coverage alone. That's the point I'm trying to make. Because you will not have control over that, what is covered in that policy, what is not covered, and all that. Whereas when it comes to your personal policy, you will always have control, and it is your health insurance, and you can make it work for you. That's the idea. And I think for Mr. Vignesh, I think the mic is enabled. So I think, can you ask a question through audio if possible?
Yeah, sorry, I
All
have a
right.
chat enabled for me, so that's why I raised the hand. So can I
No
go ahead?
problem. How are you? Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a few questions. So first thing is, so is it better to go for a PSU health insurer or a private health insurer? Because what to look for if we are going for a private health insurer. And another thing is, so around 3 years back, I picked the private health insurers for health insurance based on the network, cashless network available near my surrounding. Also based on other features like room rent supplement or exclusions, etc. I was just going through this and picked the private health insurance with a large market share. So later what happened is suddenly hearing news about the dropping of the. So suddenly the claim settlement ratio has dropped suddenly for the particular private health insurer, and I was hearing so many bad news about the claim rejections or in my circle. So is it something temporary, or so is it a good reason to consider porting off to a different insurer? If so, what should we look for in the new insurer? Or is this the same could happen to the after porting? So is it wise to port based on this based on is it wise to port based on this, or stick to the same insurer?
Okay, got it. Okay, I can guess
So
which company
yeah,
is taken from. So, yeah, can I start answering? Are you done?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay, yeah. Can you turn off your mic?
yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks. So I can guess which company you're referring to, but then, yeah. Uh, so generally, considering today, private health insurance comes as a better choice. The reason is that all the public players has this rumen capping, disease-wise capping, which is sublimit basically. And end of the day, when you don't have a big coverage, say 20 lakhs or 25 lakhs, then you always end up paying from your pocket, even though you pay your proper premium and all that, right? So consider taking from a private player, but then this claim settlement ratio, right, which you actually referred to, which has dropped, which has plummeted to the ground level. It is just a temporary situation, as I understand. But then you don't have to panic because as long as you disclose everything about your health, as long as you're clean about your declarations, as long as you know what you have done with respect to your health insurance policy, you don't have to panic. Just you can go ahead and do it. And if at all there is any unfair claim rejection by that health insurance company, right? Then you can always, as Archana, guided us, you can always approach the insurance ombudsman or the grievance mechanism, grievance redressal mechanism, and in the last stage, IRDA or the consumer court, right? So these steps are always available. We can definitely, fight and get the claim if we are very clean and we have declared everything. So that's the point I'm trying to make. And with respect to this claim settlement ratio of this respective company, right, it will definitely increase only because the problem is if you see for that one company, the number of policies they do is very high. The number of customer base they have is very high compared to another player or any other player in the market. They have the largest share when it comes to health insurance, right? And so is the claim settlement also, and the rejection also. So if you see on an average, it's only 10% of the generally, so this 10% is very common in all insurance companies, and it can be for many various reasons. So, as I said, as long as you are clean, you don't have to panic about that. And we always have solutions when it comes to claim, and we can definitely get it done. That's the idea I'm trying to make. Even if it is not cashless, at least through reimbursement, we can get it done. That's first thing. Second thing, if at all you're not still not comfortable about this company or any other company where the claim settlement ratio has come down, then you can probably, yeah, you can port, definitely you can port. and whichever company you feel is very decent, whichever company you feel the policy features are decent, and if you know anybody personally from that company who has benefited, then yes, you can port it. But make sure that company also has decent features, that policy has decent features, and you are able to port it. So that also shouldn't be a problem. It's your personal choice only. But one advice is that don't keep porting very often. Just port it once or twice in the policy lifetime, so that at least you'll have continuing benefits. Because imagine taking a policy 2 years back and applying for a claim, and imagine taking a policy for 10 years or 15 years without any claim and then applying for a claim. The claim process will be smooth because the company knows your history. You've been with the company for more years, and they'll be happy to serve you only. I mean, at least because in the confidence of you going back to them once again. So that's the idea. I hope I was able to answer you.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I have few other questions from Mr. Arun. Few questions. How you prefer select health insurance policy? What are the criteria you consider to recommend your clients? Okay, I'll first answer this question. We have a few criteria. First is we definitely do not recommend a policy with a room rent capping. Second is no co-payment. Third is mm, uh, third is basically no other disease-wise capping. So it's basically no cappings in the policy, and uh, no co-payment. And lesser waiting period if there are any necessities. So these three are the main criteria. And if any policy can fit into these criteria, then you can go ahead with any policy. Because end of the day, there will be a better policy that will keep coming only, right? If not today, at least in next 1 month or next 2 months or even in next 1 year, there will be better policies that will keep floating in the market only. So there is no one straight policy that will always serve you. But then just so just go for a basic health insurance that will serve you when there is a hospitalization requirement. Do not go for any OPD benefits, or do not go for any fancy benefits, because it will unnecessarily skyrocket your premium. It will only hike your premium. At the same time, you might not require that very often also, but the difference in premium that you will be paying is very high. So that's the criteria. And especially for senior citizens, make sure there is no co-payment. Co-payment is nothing but, I think most of you know it, but co-payment is something that you get into an agreement with the health insurance company, saying that whenever there is a claim, you agree to pay 10% or 20% because of age-related conditions, or because of some already existing medical conditions. Second question is, what about the premium? Whether it is fixed or variable time to time? Please elaborate. Obviously, health insurance will have variable premium only. It's not fixed because it's not life insurance, so it's only variable. And but the pattern it changes, it depends on the company, because some company changes it every 5 years, which is as per the age grid. Say 36 to 40, they have one premium. 41 to 40, they have one premium. 46 to 50, they have one premium. So it's basically the premium changes every 5 years. And that once that's one category. Second category is, there are some companies, very few companies, which change the premium every year, but the change is very meek, very small percentage, say 5% or 6%. So end of the day, both companies, if somebody has traveled with two companies for almost 10 years, the change in premium would be similar only if you sum it up. So it's very common only, but it changes every 5 years or every year, depending on the company. Yeah, only. But then with health insurance, they change. They're not fixed. Next question is from Mr. Dinakar Babu. While choosing term insurance, what are the riders can be evaluated to the base policy? Please brief on this, or it's good to choose just a plain term insurance instead of taking hefty policy with additional riders. It depends, but we suggest with a critical illness policy, because critical illness policy, as a rider, the premiums are fixed. While it is taken as a standalone policy, the premiums change every year. The reason to suggest a critical illness policy is because when there is a diagnosis, we receive a lump sum. But then there is a stage that the brochure generally, the company generally mentions in the brochure. So that you need to be aware. But taking a critical illness rider is something that we would advise. And if at all the policy has any permanent disability rider or a disability rider where they cover lots of disability, permanent, partial, temporary, and they cover school education, educational requirements. If at all the person needs a disability, the children get this educational benefit. All those extra things, if at all the policy is able to offer, then we can go for a disability rider. These two are the riders. But if you already have that as a separate thing, or if you already have that, then you can go for a plain vanilla policy. But you can consider taking it as a rider. That will be helpful. Yeah. You can also raise your hand if you want to use the mic so that you don't have to type. One second. 1 second, Mr. Dinakar. I just answer Mr. Arun's question, and then you can probably unmute and talk. A corporate employee having health insurance coverage up to 5 lakh. Myself, wife, and 2 kids. What is the recommendation for additional coverage? Okay, it depends, but generally on face of your question, I would say at least go for 10 lakh coverage, at least. But anyhow, you can get in touch with us, so that we can have more personalized conversation, so that I can get to know about your family history. I can get to know about, where you stay, which locality you are staying, because generally, say if you're down south, that is from a town in Tamil Nadu or somewhere else, then like tier 2 city or tier 3 city, then 10 lakh would do. But then if you're from a city, or if you're working in Bangalore or somewhere in a metro city, then the recommendation would definitely change. So that's one thing. So uh, we will give our number so that you can get in touch with us. That will be the more apt one to do, so that we can have a personalized conversation. I can understand you better, and I can probably provide a solution. Yeah. So I think Mr. Dinakaran can talk.
Hello, sir. Shall I proceed with my question?
Yeah, sir. Hi, sure, sir. Yeah.
So these health insurance products are getting upgraded with the new features, latest features every year. So when we are renewing our existing health insurance policies, will it be upgraded to meet the, current updates of the health insurance product, or it will be may get be outdated, right? So it may get outdated, right? So we have to wait and take the latest one, or how can we mitigate this problem?
Okay, understood. So what you can do is, so let's say you're taking policy A from some company, and next year you find that that policy has some few upgrades. Then in renewal, you will be notified about that. So probably you can opt if you feel that that's relevant to you. But then even in that company, they come up with a new policy which is totally different from your policy, and they say that this is a better policy. Then what you have to do is you have to wait for at least 2 to 3 years and understand if you really need that policy, what is the premium difference, and why would you need it. And if you still feel that, because they come up with few updates, like for example, let's say a health insurance policy can get an update like mm, probably there is something called convenience benefit or cash benefit, right? So say the health insurance I'm sorry, the health insurance policy says that if a person gets hospitalized for 10 days or 15 days, then he would receive 2,000 or 3,000 every day from the fourth day, right? So this can be one rider or it can be one update. There are few health insurance that can say that if you don't claim at all for 5 years, then we would reduce your policy premium to some extent. And there are a few more updates that they can, or probably health checkup they can offer, or probably they can start offering OPD basis on your claim record and all that. So these are a few updates that they can give. We can check if they really want that, right? I know a policy where if at all you're able to cover 13,000 steps a day for at least 300 days or 330 days a year, then you can probably get a discount of up to 90%. You will only end up paying the GST amount for the policy. So where they also track your fitness things. So there are many policies which offer these kind of wellness benefit or these kind of upgrades they give. We can see if we really want it, because end of the day, if at all we port and if at all we get into we are stuck in the difference in premium again, because the new policy or the new update can pose a big premium also, right? And those are things that we need to really analyze. And probably if you know anybody who can advise you on these issues, you can consider or consult with them before going in for these features, right? End of the day, because as you told and as I tell, generally health insurance company, the policies they keep updating only because to acquire the market share. So we can you can consider that, but then you have to think whether you need it or not. That's the thing I would say. End of the day, I would feel happy if I have a basic health insurance that will cover me for the hospitalization. That should do. So that's what my approach will be. And a few other things, if I need, I would take it. So it's always very relative case. So you can probably consult with somebody else when you get an update, something like that. Yeah. So if anybody has any more questions, you can probably raise your hand. I'll ask the question. Yeah, go ahead, sir, please.
Planning to take health insurance for my parents. They both are senior citizens.
Yeah.
Father is 72 plus and the mother is 62 plus. So still, are they eligible to covered by the medical insurance? Or if not eligible means, or if not covered means, what is the medication I can do? Do you have
Okay.
any
Okay.
idea or what the policies?
Right. So, okay, straight answer would be yes. There is a possibility because there are few companies that where there is no age restriction, right? So still you can opt for those policies, but then if they have gone through, if your parents have gone through any major surgeries, or if they are currently taking any major medications, like for example, if they have diabetes or BP or cholesterol or asthma or any other surgery if they have taken in the past, then it would go to medical underwriting, and they would ask for medical test also, where they can come home or you can go to a nearby hospital and get it checked. So if everything goes through, then yes, you will get a policy if everything goes through. But the premiums will also be very high depending on their health condition. But it's always better to have a health insurance for parents even at their age. That's the first answer. Second answer, if they don't get, then what you can do is you can understand what will be the premium for their age, then, and what you can do is you can start saving that amount as a medical corpus, right? So you can create a medical corpus for them, and if your office or your employer provides any coverage to you, you can probably check with your HR if they will extend the coverage to parents also, where you can pay the premium or they can take up the premium, in which way it works, and start side by side start creating a medical reserve, so that if there is any real emergency, you can take help from that. But the answer is you can try. Yes, there are chances that 50-50 chances that they'll be covered for a good value and good policy. That's for sure.
So one more question, please.
Yeah.
When there is no claim policy, when there is no claim in the health insurance policy, uh, so the health insurance companies are providing the offers, the discounted premiums in the next policy year, or they are giving the option. Either you can choose the discounted premium or you can do the top up of your coverage. So which is the
Yeah.
feasible for the customers?
So this discount and premium not I mean 99% they don't do because that's how they run the business. So they won't, most cases they won't give the discount and premium. So it's only the no claim bonus that gets accumulated, or the top up, or any other features that they can offer because you've not claimed. So your choice is very limited. So what you can do is no claim bonus is something that that comes to you inevitably. You don't have to do that. If you're not claimed, then the policy value increases. But if they're offering a top up, or if at all the relationship manager or anybody says that you can offer a top up policy or something like that, then you can see the requirement if you want it or not. Then if you feel you need it, or if there is any family history that will really put you in the situation to take it, then you can take it. Yeah, the reason I told you, there will be discount in premium is because there are some wellness programs run by this health insurance company to make you fit so that you don't claim, so that they can offer discount in the premium. That's how it runs. So it's not the other way. So generally, the discount in premiums are not because of no claim, but it's because you are basically maintaining your fitness, and that is noted by the insurance company, and they offer you that. That's how it is. Yeah. So if at all anybody has any questions, you can raise your hand and ask us questions. Yes, sir. Yeah. Please.
So in my first question, so you responded that it is better to have the rider, especially the critical illness benefit. So as I came to know, I mean, generally in the marketing, I mean, insurance market, they are providing a list of particular diseases, even in the particular stages. If we get affected, only then we are eligible to claim the critical illness benefit. So personally, what I feel that it may not do the job what the exact health insurance will do that in the network hospitals, cashless treatments to meet the urgency treatments. So
Yeah.
once we get affected in the particular stage, only this critical illness benefit is coming. So
Yes.
instead of take this, why don't we go with the good coverage with the health insurance itself directly? What is your opinion, sir?
Yes, sir. Sure. You can do that, sir. You can do that definitely. But the thought process behind this is basically have two reasons. First is, yes, you can have a very good coverage for a very good value, so that you're sorted, and even if there is something, then yes, the health insurance will cover you and all that. But then the reason behind this critical illness policy is that, as you said, they cover in the specific illness stage, right? And the illness stage is considered to be the major stage, where major expenses takes place if the treatment has to start, right? So that's when this critical illness policy from the term insurance, they come into the picture, because there you receive a lump sum payout. So over and above the health insurance, this critical illness will provide the lump sum benefit to you. Okay, so I'll tell you how it can be helpful to you. This health insurance policy, first thing that you have, that you can use it for the hospitalization and treatment where you go to the hospitalization. It will work when you take a hospitalization. It will work when the said treatment is covered in the daycare procedure, right? But this critical illness lump sum that comes from the term insurance will be helpful if at all the person becomes jobless, or if at all the person is not able to work on his own, and not able to provide to the family some income because of his illness, right? So this can act as an income replacement. That's the first thing. Second thing, even if the health insurance value exhausts, right, because of the continuous claim or because of continuous treatment, if the health insurance value exhausts, then you can make use of this critical illness lump sum that comes to you for further treatment or for further family expenses. So that's how you can plan basically. Because in the way, just thinking that my health insurance will cover everything. Yes, it will cover, but then it's not very sure also, because you can always bear in your mind that for any claim, need not be a critical illness, it can be any claim. Even if for dengue, if I go and admit in a hospital, my hospital will cover my policy will cover me only for 90 to 95%. So what you can set your mind is that 80 to 95%, 90% is the claim that you'll receive. Rest of 10% you will always have to bear, because they don't cover for the cotton, bandage, syringe, all those miscellaneous expenses, right? And there are some things that is not covered in the policy, like if at all the hospital is not able to provide you the proper breakup for the bills that they have put, then the health insurance will not cover, and you will end up from your putting from your pocket. So even when the basic health insurance has these problems, right, where the 10% is not covered, this critical, imagine going for a treatment for critical illness where the bill is going to be huge and you will end up paying from your pocket. So always having a critical illness policy will definitely help is the idea. So this will cover you over and above your basic health insurance, right? So what we are trying to address here is a 360-degree coverage, so that even there is a small gap or small leakage in any of your policies, you know, some other policy will help you in that situation. That's the idea, sir. Yeah. So we'll take the last question, and if anybody has any questions, you can ask. That can be our last question for the day. And we'll be always available to you if at all you need to reach us, and we've given our number, so you can drop us a hi in your WhatsApp. Yes, Mr. Arun, please.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, Graf.
So one general discussion I had with one of my friend. Okay, he just suggesting one thing, like family of 4 members, no, husband, wife, and kids. Okay, so he's suggesting that instead of going for a family photo for 4, we can go ahead with only the spouses, right? For kids, since they're in studying, right, it is already covered in a corporate policy. Okay, there is no requirement of taking them in the group. We can consider for them in the later stage. Is it the correct way of approach?
I wouldn't say yes. Answer is no only, because the main point is we are not sure who's getting what illness. Okay, I'm just addressing it in a very general way. If at all any illness is diagnosed, even for students or anybody for that matter, then the health insurance, you will not get any health insurance after that, right? So then imagine the situation of a young children who is going through that stage, right, where they'll suffer some illness and they'll not be able to get a health insurance in the future. So that will be a big threat or big challenge. So instead of compromising on that area, you can consider taking a health insurance, or you can add them in your policy, so that they are covered. Again, some more further question will come to you. What if I'm taking only 10 lakhs, and then still, if at all there is any critical illness or any other illness, then will I be able to increase my coverage? The answer will be no only. It will be very hard to increase your coverage, because it's a very relative case. But at least you will have some coverage, because without a coverage, getting an illness, and imagine a child, or somebody who's in a teenage going through that situation, and we are not able to cover them in the future, that is going to be a biggest challenge. So, and adding them in your family floater policy, it will not be a big premium difference. It will be like, say, a few thousands only, like 2,000 or 3,000 only additionally. That's what I understand. So, I would recommend you to go ahead and add them in the policy. End of the day, you're only trying to provide your family an extra coverage. So go ahead and do it, is the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Second question would be, I'm having existent term insurance policy, which having only basic one, which doesn't have that critical illness and all. Last 6-7 years, I'm just continuing with that. Is it still option available to add that, or you have to continue only with the basic premium? Oh, sorry, policy.
So for that policy, you'll have to only continue with that basic health, basic term insurance. But then again, 2 more recommendations I would tell you here. First is, do not stick to one term insurance, because as your responsibility increases, I understand you have children. I understand you would have, 7 years back you would have been in a different position, and today you're in a different position. Your salary, your status, your responsibility, everything has increased. So always consider taking checking your human life value every 3 to 5 years, so that you can bridge the gap. Because those days when you took the policy, I think you would have gone for a 50 lakh or 1 crore generally. and that would have been your requirement. But today, your human life value could have gone to 3 crore, where you're insured only for 50 lakhs or 1 crore. Then there's a huge gap, right? You only cover 33%. So you can consider taking an additional term insurance, and there you can get this critical illness policy as a rider. So these two are the recommendations I would say.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. I'm just answering the last question here, and we are closing for the day. And that's from Mr. Dinakar Babu. Are the terminal illness and critical illness both same, or how is it differing with each other in life insurance policy? Okay, terminal and critical illness are not same, but they're not different also. Sorry if I'm confusing you, but then let me explain. It's basically any illness can be a terminal illness, right? For example, where the person is in his last stage of life because of some illness, then that is considered to be terminal illness. The illness has taken that person to a last stage of life where he is literally counting his days. That's called terminal illness. Whereas in health insurance terms, or in medical terms, critical illness is something that's been categorized, that's been listed, say cancer, tumor, or heart disease, or kidney failure. There are like list of illnesses, right? That is basically a critical illness. So in some ways they are same, but in some ways they are different. But when it comes to term insurance, uh, critical illness, as I told you, you can opt for it. You can basically claim when there is a critical illness diagnosed at a set stage. What is terminal illness is that terminal illness is basically any illness where the person is in his last stage. So the insurance company will voluntarily, or I'm sorry, the insurance you can approach the insurance company. Say if the doctors, I'll just take an example. It's very general example. Say if a person is in last stage of life, he's affected by an illness and it's very severe, it's very intense, and that's considered to be the terminal illness, for example. Then he can basically approach a doctor, or basically the consulting doctor can tell that he or she will live only for these days, where the days are counting. The doctors will say that. With those statements, he can approach the insurance company, and he can get the sum assured, in advance. So basically, let's say I've taken a 1 crore term insurance, and I'm in last stage of my life. The doctor says that I go to the insurance company, I prove my point. Then the insurance company, instead of paying at my debt or to my family, they will pay me itself, right? So that's the terminal illness benefit. So as I said, in some ways the terminal illness and critical illness are same. In some ways it's little different, and I'm not the right person to say it, but then many medical terms are involved. So only the doctors will be able to say this in the right sense. But in term insurance meaning, both are kind of slightly different. That's the answer. Yeah. So I think I had a very fulfilling session, I guess, and I think I was able to answer most of you, and I think Ms. Archana was able to address most of the issues. So uh, pretty much that is it up from our end. And thanks for this engagement. We really enjoyed it, and we really admire your questions, and we were able to answer, I guess. So please join, do often. Please and please approach us. We have given our number. If there is any queries, we'll be definitely happy to address and help in whatever ways possible. And looking forward to meeting you all in the next webinar. Thank you so much. So we'll meet you in the next webinar. Thank you so much.